1984 came, of course, on October 14th, when the Tigers put the capper on the greatest Detroit baseball summer in decades, completing a 7-month championship saga that began inconspicuously enough in late March, when they completed a less than earth-shattering and actually poorly received trade with the Phillies for Woody Hernandez, a lefty reliever who, with unprecedented consistency, would go on to pick up saves in his first 32 tries and become just the 7th pitcher in history to win the MVP and Cy Young awards in the same season, a season that Sparky called the greatest a reliever ever had. In early April, first Saturday of the season, Jack Morris pitched a no-hitter, and by late May, the Tigers sat 35-5, best start in Major League history. That included a record 17 straight wins on the road. Yes, the summer of '85 could be good too, but never better than the last one. 1984 signaled a horrifying plunge for the Lions and coach Monty Clark, who collectively looked to have finally arrived late last year. In fact, on December 31st, '83, after winning 8 of their last 11 games, they came within a breath of beating the 49ers in the playoffs, a loss that still spurred hope and belief, but as history sadly notes, only precipitated that well-documented disaster of '84. Each week, another crushing loss, and after 7 years, the Clark era ended in anguish with the firing that the so recently hopeful fans demanded. Earlier in the year, the Billy Sims trial seemed so important, so crucial, but even if not subsequently hurt, Billy couldn't have made much of a difference. The spring of 1984 was a good time in these parts. Besides the hot Tiger start, both the Pistons and Wings made the playoffs after absences dating back to the '70s. Neither had legitimate title hopes, and neither made it past the first round. Wings losing in overtime on Mark Reed's goal to fall 3-1 to St. Louis, and yet progress in year 2 of the Ilitch era seemed sufficient to satisfy the public. The Pistons fell in 5 games to the Knicks in round 1, Bernard King proving too much over the long haul. This team had great promise, and as '84 comes to a close, they seem ready to build to a far brighter future. In June, Detroiters braced for the biggest boxing moment in 3 years. Thomas Hearns' hopes for redemption for his loss to Sugar Ray Leonard rested with his much ballyhooed bout against Roberto Duran, and he responded with a crushing second-round KO, and his clash with Marvin Hagler in '85 could be the richest fight in history. On the collegiate scene, Michigan was forced to settle for the NIT basketball tournament, but up and won, paced by Big Tim McCormick, who later became a first-round draft choice. And as '84 closes, this year's Michigan team has yet to lose and is rated in the top 15. In football, Bo's Wolverines managed to lose 2 bowl games in the calendar year, to Auburn January 2nd and to Brigham Young just last week, sinking to a mere 6-6 on the season, unheard of in recent Wolverine annals. It's all what you expect, though, isn't it? Because Michigan State also finished 6-6 after losing to Army in the inaugural Cherry Bowl, but the Spartans have the look of a program moving up. Yes, 1984, a year in which baseball dominated and the champagne flowed as Michiganders felt pride and sports happiness like never before.